Before you wear your next clothing, you have to do this one thing. So about 3 years ago in high school, I had a girlfriend who was a fashionista, which means that I had a mentor in fashion. And also my best friend was modeling at the time. So I had so many lessons about fashion, of which I'm going to share with you today. The way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to tell you the story, I'm going to tell you the lessons, and also I'm going to give you a secret that not everyone knows. So at first, I'm going to start with, I really had a very bad style at first, right? I didn't have good style. You know what? I said I'm a man, I don't care, I will do whatever I want, I will wear whatever I want. And also for me, it was some sort of resilience. I was like, I'm resilient, bro, I don't care about what people think of me. I can wear anything, which is true, it's still now. But still, there's so many things that are wrong with that, because you can prove that in so many ways. You don't have to wear bad clothing for you to prove that you don't care about what other people think of you, or you're not scared of others. So this first time that got into me was obviously with my family. They were always like saying, you're wearing 15 colors, you have to stop. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm going doing parkour with my friends, I don't care. You know what? But at the same time, like when I met the fashionista, I remember just a little bit of time, she's like, your style is shit. I'm like, okay, sure. What got you to say that? Because I understood she knew stuff. Okay, I want to learn that. So I was like, what you know? Tell me what it is. And she was like, your colors are off. There's a lot of stuff you do. Based on what I've seen, like I analyzed your stuff and the colors that you wear. Here's the colors that actually work with you, which is like this. I'm like, dude, I've never noticed that. What? And at the time, like, don't get me wrong, I was not just some goofy back man. I was very good. Like I had long hair. I was brushing my hair all the time. I was doing even man bun. Can you believe that? Doing man bun is hard. So I did man bun at the time, and it was all of these processes that I went through. And still, she's like, well, it's not enough. Like, you have to do this, you have to do that. And, I was wearing everything on my hand, like a watch, a bracelet, everything. She's like, no, you shouldn't do that. You should do this. And the part of it is, obviously, she was a fashionista. So there's always this feminine energy that they know, like feminine energy knows to wear better than men. But in reality, men should be better looking than women, or feminine energy as its purest form. Because I've also seen this thing so this is not scientifically proven, okay? Just to make clear, like I say, everything's scientifically proven. This is not, but I think it might have some sort of, someone who proves it, which is, in the wildness, animals, usually the men are way brighter than women, right? We have some sort of the opposite in our world, but it should not be that way. You see, as an example, every animal, bro, I'm not going to even, make here examples. Every animal, the males are usually more fancy. They have all the colors, all of the stuff, all of the head things and throat things and everything, right? Because in the mating season, they have to show off. And it's not only in that, it's like everything. There's in the sea world, the wild world, the forest world, the savannah world, it's all the same. It all happens again and again. So you see, like we have this quote, which means that the man can never be criticized except for his pocket. It's a real quote that is. It's an ancient quote. But also, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't take care of your clothing. Obviously, if you have to, don't care about your clothing, it's fine, just don't. Okay? So, in some cases, probably you're forced to, sure. Just don't. Focus on what matters. But if you want to actually get stuff done and etc., and actually succeed and get stuff where you want to be, you have to wear at least a very good clothing. Okay, so this is not about like your guide to shopping stuff, okay? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of that online. It's not that. The first thing that I'm going to start with is one of the biggest stories that I found, which was my friend was a model. He was a model and he was also a barber. He was learning, he was in barber college or university or whatever that is. So he was learning barber and we were like practicing. He was also teaching me a lot of stuff, and he was literally practicing in me. Okay. And I was also doing, which gave me the permission to actually practice in him as a barber a little bit. So I know a lot of that. And he was actually telling me a lot of stuff, because once you are in that industry, you learn a lot about style and, fashion in general. And also he had relationships with a lot of fashionistas as well, models as well. And you comprehend that, well, there is always this trend. So to convince you and to give you even more, because I know a lot of people are fucking dumb, I give you more reasons. You see, there is a reason why most of the successful people, they marry models or they marry actresses. As an example, you take Donald Trump. His wife is a model, right? His son is crazy good looking. Donald Trump, amazing good looking. And one of the rules that Donald Trump has is you can never wear Gucci clothes around him or in his house. Even when it comes to his butler, it's the same thing. You can never wear some crappy shit that you have. That's not allowed. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. It makes so much sense. But you think about it, dude, he had that for his entire life, right? So it's not like a money thing that now he has all the billions of dollars. And you're like, okay, that's good. Let's say Elon Musk. He has the same thing. He married a lot of actresses, models. His mother was a model. Probably a lot of people don't know that. But once you read the book, Elon Musk, you will understand that his mother was a model. Actually, when he was young, she was a lot of time leave him in his house with his siblings and go do modeling, right? And that was repeated a lot of times. And you're like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. So that just gives you an additional note that you understand that, well, there is a relationship between looking, how you look, and how or who you are, what you do, So it's like have, do, be, right? Stuff like that. So there's always these relationships that are really important between the factors that we have in our lives. Okay, so that's not enough for you, okay? And all of the successful wannabes, they read books a lot. Also the books, they talk about that. Think and Grow Rich, one of the best-selling books in the world. And it's not only selling, but it's one of the best books by Napoleon Hill. He talks about this in the chapter called Fears. He says, look, one of the greatest, he says, fears are one of the biggest limiting beliefs in the world. The biggest limiting beliefs in the world. What is the number one fear that everyone has? Is the fear of poverty. Good. You're like, okay, well, that doesn't have anything to do with clothing. Wait. He explains the symptoms and he says, if you do not care of how you appear, your clothing, it means, and that is a clear symptom that you have this fear. And this is the biggest, it's the no-brainer reading book for entrepreneurs. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So it makes so much sense for you to actually follow all of these people that are great. And once you see these books, they're not talking about stuff in a high level stage, right? I know that you want something else. Alex Hormozi talked also about this. In his recent video, what he said that the best selling people on earth, the best salespeople are hot women who can deal with rejection. What does that mean? It means looks does matter. And also dealing with rejection, but looks does matter. In fact, there is a study that was made between people in the same workplace, the same levels, everything. Half of them was called attractive, half of them was not as attractive, okay? So they studied all of them. And they found out that for men, their earning ability develops by 15% to 30%. women develops by 25% of the bat. So women have more high ROI than men. But still, 15% is not something that you joke with. It's 15%, you know. On the larger scale, it's literally a deal breaker, make or break. So now that you understand the essence of actually you have to be good looking, I'm going to share with you a few things. You have to use AI, and here's why. There's a skin natural color test that is made around the world, as an example, China, with $200. You do that with $200, they clean your face, you do everything, they do the test, and they give you the results, right? And there is a lot of results because everybody's different, and also based on results, you can do different stuff that I'm going to explain. So what is this test? And how you can do it too? You can do it with ChatGPT, brother, in addition to additional program like Canva or Photoshop. The way you do it is you get the HES color of your lightest or brightest, so it must be like a picture that is with natural light, and you get the brightest color of your skin, the darkest color of your skin, your natural hair color, and also your eye color. And you put a specific prompt that you can find on the internet, and you give ChatGPT, you tell him what is my natural skin color, and tell me the analysis and the decisions and everything, and he will go through an entire process that costs $200. You will do it for free, and you'll be like, hey, you know what, your dark autumn, your dark winter, whatever, all of those things, and you'll be like, look, for you, it's most suited that you will not wear this color. Probably those are the colors that you always wear, and you're asking, these are new clothing that I just bought, but they don't look good on me. Why? Because basically they're not the right colors. Even Tristan Tate talks about this. He says, always I'm going to be looking good. He says, I'm going to be looking good, although not everyone will understand how good I look. I will always wear the best suits. Not everyone will understand the suits, but one person that will meet and be like, those suits are from Laura. I know he knows what he's saying and what he's talking about. Just for those moments, I'm going to wear X, Y, and Z. It's not only that, you can take the same thing that is happening for so many different people. Looks is one of the most important things. Even with content creators, with influencers and everything, just think about it, do analysis for yourself and ask about it. Ask yourself, what is the first thing that you notice when you watch a YouTube video or a movie? Is how they look. And most likely, just look at who are the people that you watch more often. Usually are people that are good looking. And you're like, okay, this makes all the sense, but how do I be like that, right? So I'm talking here about clothing. I'm going to just stay in clothing, but I'm going to give you another stuff. Another stuff, one is, obviously, if you can, you should train. Do sports. It will better. Like, people who have better postures, dude, it's different. The other thing, obviously, is have a style. As an example, my style is classic. I'm a man. I'm a big man. I'm a huge man and a businessman. That's all I'm going to wear. You're not going to find me with some goofy streetwear, extra large bullshit. I'll not do that. I have to wear my suit. I have to wear my stuff. I respect others. People respect me. I can go into meetings. I can go to whatever it is. I am ready to go through that with my clothing. You know, whether that being a family meeting, a dinner, with that being a business deal that I have to make off the bat, a video that I have to film, some crazy shit that I have to do. I can do that every time of the week. It is what it is. So your clothing tells a lot about you. It's not like you're wearing trousers. So trousers are good, but it's not like wearing sweatpants. Sweatpants, why would you do? Except if you're going to the gym, don't wear them. So these are very important stuff. I gave you a lot of knowledge, okay? I give you a lot of knowledge that you can actually use before you finish this video. You already, just right now, you got a lot from this video that you will get from a lot of videos on YouTube that tells you how to be good, because most of them are just influencers that do beauty. Bro, I don't do that. I just something that is part of what I put out there, right? Because I figured out that, look, Every book talks about the same thing. Every successful man has different thing, have the same thing. And even like when you see their success story, it's not like they were not looking good. Then when they got rich, they looked good. Even with Mark Zuckerberg, with everyone saying like he looked like an alien, he didn't. He looked good even when he was young. He was always wearing, sharp clothing. He was sharp. He was getting a haircut. He was doing all of that. He was a man. Now he's a little bit, overdoing it. But the essence is like, look, if he did it, you have to do it too. If you want to be like him, because I know you are, so you probably should do that. So now, obviously, I talked about a lot of stuff. I think the most important of them all is really to know why you're doing the thing. So it's not like a female thing. It's not feminine energy to wear proper clothing. Because look, if you're doing business, I tried it based on my data, people are more likely to get closed on a business deal if you're wearing a good clothing. And I tried it even in school, dude. I was in college. I had this conversation when I had to convince the director of something I wanted, but I was not wearing proper clothing. It was off the bat, as I said. It was not expected. And I didn't, right? And I regretted that for my entire, for 2-3 years. I hated what I was wearing that day, right? I was not wearing stuff that are classic, that are formal, that can give me the unfair advantage to convince him with what I want. And that costed me an entire year getting suspended from college, dude. And that's true. I'm not over-exaggerating. So clothing is actually important. If you want to have the respect of others, respect yourself, and most importantly, look, close business deals. So you don't know where is the next opportunity. And I'm not saying you have to wear your new clothing and buy new clothing. No. I'm just saying to wear good clothing, right? So something that is formal with a style. And the second thing, which is the colors. I gave you an entire analysis of colors that for me, I really just thought that, I'm going to wear any color and it will suit me just well. Or just copy whatever style I see on the internet. It doesn't work like that. And I didn't know that until I done the analysis that I just told you about. And I found that my colors are just neutrals. I have to wear colors that are neutrals, which looks best on me. So something neutral, something that is, winter colors, stuff like that. Dark colors, green dark colors, something like that are what suits me more. Or warm colors, so dark warm colors are what suits me most. It's something that I've never knew. Actually, most of the clothing that now I'm like, oh, this looks awesome. I thought they were shit. It's because I thought that the color is bad. But it doesn't matter. It matters about how it looks, right? Which is literally what clothing is. So I'm going to add another one thing, okay, just to finish all of this, which is what you need from temperature to comfortable, and also if you are allergic. If you are allergic, obviously you have to get away from every clothing that will be allergic to, okay, because there's always alternative. The other thing is the weather. So in season, as an example, if the summer, you don't wear some crazy clothing. You don't wear 5 layers. You have to wear something that is suited to summer, okay? And the same thing goes with winter. You want to wear something when you're warm, when you're comfortable. Because look, you're doing this to close the business deals and to have statistically proven, based on the data, a better outcome. Because that's what I did. For me, I tracked 30 months of my life. I tracked 30 months of my life, and at the end, just to figure out that, looks and my confidence makes a difference, and my best version of myself, the closest version of myself in those 30 months, actually wears good clothing, takes care of himself, and actually is confident. Which are all the same side, different side of the same coin. So what I'm speaking about here is very important to comprehend. No matter what size you are, no matter what time you are, where you are, what age you are, it doesn't really matter as much as it matters that what is the ROI that you will get. I'm telling you here the data that I have. It should be something secret. Not everyone will share the data with you. I'm sharing it, dude. I'm telling you, I analyzed 30 months of my life. I analyzed how I looked for 30 months. in addition to 17 other metrics. Now it's about 25, 26, but it doesn't matter. I analyzed how I looked for 30 months to realize that when I looked better, it was the closest version of myself to the best version of myself. It makes all the sense for me to actually do what I was doing at that point, which is what I was doing, take care of yourself, doing this and that. And also I'm going to even add another layer to close all of this, which is also as content creator, I upload a lot of videos, been doing this for 8 years. And I analyzed so many times, I realized that the videos that I look good in do way better than the videos that I don't look good in. And even if you're not a content creator, this will help you because views are just representations of people's psychology. So after 8 years of me analyzing the videos, I realized that me looking good in the video will make the video do better by a consequence, which says so much about the psychology of humans. Which means that you should do it all the time as long as you can, because it just will give you higher ROI on whatever you put in. So now, as I promised, you're finishing this video with an entire thing. You can never unseen what you have just seen. And now you know the secrets. You know a lot of secrets about clothes. Subscribe.